Today, with the release of Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 3, we have gotten a new fishing dex, and in this season, the new fishing dex has been completely reset, and you need to go ahead and catch all of these fish once more to unlock that glorious fishing achievement, Fish Fear You, and alongside that, make a ton of XP off progressing your milestone of catching fish for this season. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Now, for our first section of this video, before we start dissecting on how to catch every single fish and where to do it, we're going to look at how to get a pro fishing rod. Now, this is a spot that I will keep referencing throughout the video, so if you need a pro fishing rod to catch a specific fish, which you will need for some of them, then make sure to come back to this spot. And basically, Epic Games has made it a ton easier to get a pro fishing rod this season than any other season, and that's because an NPC sells them at an incredible discount over at Sleepy Sound. Now, right up here in this exact building, Fish Stick will sell you a pro fishing rod for, hear this, 30 gold. I know that may not sound like that amazing of a deal, but think about this. The way that I used to do this is upgrade a standard fishing rod into a pro fishing rod at an upgrade station, and that costs 250. So think about this. This is only 30 gold now. That is literally 220 gold less just by buying it off this NPC. Not only that, but then you also have access to boats in this harbor, and then through this river in the middle of the map, you can drive anywhere that you need to be for the different biomes to catch the fish. It is an incredibly convenient process, and honestly, thank you so much, Epic, for adding this in, as this is such a convenient thing. So overall, to get your pro fishing rods every single game, you've got two options. You can go to Sleepy Sound, you can buy them off Fish Stick, and you can start driving around the map to wherever you need to be. Or what you can do is you can buy one off Fish Stick and then throw it in your tent. And then when you want to go somewhere, try and find a tent as a loot drop at the spot that you're going to. Now, the issue with this strategy is it's really luck-based and can be incredibly annoying at times. Trust me, I caught all of these fish today, and I tried this method a few times, and sometimes you get lucky and you find a tent pretty quickly, and sometimes you don't at all, and you have to restart your match and go into another one after having wasted like 10 minutes looking for a tent. So this is honestly a hit-or-miss strategy. Personally, I would recommend, for more consistency, just going back to Fish Stick every single game, buying a pro fishing rod, and then going to your desired location to catch that fish that you want. So now that you guys know how to get a pro fishing rod every single game, we're gonna address something major. Epic Games has redeemed themselves after last season's epic failure with the fishing dex. For those who do not know, you couldn't actually complete it until about halfway through the season because of some major glitches, some bugs, there was a lot of pushbacks, but basically all in all, you couldn't finish the fishing dex until halfway through last season. So for this season, they gave us fishers something of our own, and they gave us an entire island purely dedicated to fishing. Now, this island, as you guys can see, has a ton of fishing holes. It has 2 fishing rod loot spawns, and it is absolutely amazing. Now, one request I will make to Epic Games, I know they gave us such an amazing island. One request I have is you put a guaranteed pro fishing rod spawn on this island, because it would make it so much more convenient than having to drive all the way from Sleepy Sound over to this spot, and it would guarantee that you get one every single game, and then you can just start fishing in the area around it. Epic, please consider doing this. I would absolutely be giddy if you did, or even just a guaranteed tent spawn, because then we could put our pro fishing rods in a tent every single game, and then take them out for that game, fish with them. Once we're done, put them back in the tent, and next game, redo the same process until we've caught the fish that we needed. So that's my only request to Epic, but for now, that is the new fishing paradise island that Epic added in. I just thought that I would mention that to all of you guys, and we will be talking about this later in the video for what specific fish you should go here for to catch. Now, obviously, any of the anywhere fish you can catch over there, but it does have a specific biome requirement, and I will be addressing that later. For now, let's hop into the actual video. Now, with all of that aside, getting your pro fishing rod, talking about the new fishing island, let's dive right into these fish. And for fish 1, 2, and 3, we have the good old classic floppers, the orange, green, and blue floppers. These are incredibly easy to get. All you need to do is bring a fishing rod or a harpoon gun to any fishing hole anywhere around the map, and you'll eventually catch yourself fish 1, 2, and 3, the orange, green, and blue floppers. For our 4th fish, we have the black and blue shield fish. Now, this guy, again, again, just like the floppers, can be caught anywhere out of fishing holes as long as you're using a standard fishing rod or a harpoon gun. Now, also, this will work with a pro fishing rod, but you do not necessarily need a pro fishing rod to catch the black and blue shieldfish, fish number 4. For our 5th fish, this is the first fish that has a biome requirement, the black striped shieldfish, and this guy can only be caught in coastal areas. Now, if you don't know where to go for a great coastal area, my personal recommendation is this spot right over here. It's been turned into a little bit of a party zone, but it has so many fishing rod spawns, and it has so many fishing spots in the water. You could fish here for days and still have more to go through. So honestly, this is an amazing coastal spot to catch fish number 5, the black striped shieldfish. Now, for our 6th fish, we have the green shieldfish, and this guy can only be caught in forest areas. Now, thankfully, this is the only fish this season that needs to be caught in a forest area, and that is for good reason. There are so few forest areas on the map, it is genuinely insane. The only one I can recommend you guys going to is going over to this spot right over here, grabbing a fishing rod, and then going up this waterway. Now, I believe that the forest area cuts off at about here. There should be fishing holes right at this intersection, and that's where I caught my fish. I think that if you go any further, this turns into a swamp area, and then this turns into a mountainous area. So right about here is the cutoff for the forest area. But within this river, you have some fishing holes that you can catch the green shieldfish on. Honestly, this is a very annoying one to do if you don't get it in like one of your first 2 games, because then you're just constantly going back in, going to the river, walking up it, fishing. You guys know the deal. It can be a bit annoying, but eventually, if you do that route with a normal fishing rod or a harpoon gun, you will eventually catch yourself the green shieldfish. Now, for our 7th fish, we have the pink shieldfish, and this guy can only be caught in desert areas with a pro fishing rod. Now, this guy can be a bit annoying because this is only one of the 2 fish that are required to be caught in a desert area, so it's quite the niche requirement. But what you're going to want to do is come on down here to this desert right over here, and then right about here, I believe there's a fishing hut, or actually, am I looking at the wrong spot? No, it's right here is the fishing hut. And then once you drop on down there, there will be some fishing rods there, and this is where it gets annoying. You're gonna need to get lucky. There's no other way for me to put it. I had to take about 7 games to actually get a pro fishing rod, but once you do, then you're able to go down to these fishing holes, and then you're able to catch yourself the pink shieldfish after a few attempts. Once you get that pro fishing rod, just fish in the fishing holes, and you'll catch yourself fish number 7. Now, for our 8th fish, this is the final one of the shieldfish, and this is the light blue shieldfish. Again, this guy can be caught anywhere, just like the beginning shieldfish of the black and blue one. The light blue shieldfish can be caught in any fishing hole anywhere around the map with any type of fishing rod or harpoon gun. So go out there, just keep fishing. You'll eventually catch yourself fish number 8. Now we get into the slurpfish category, and this is where it gets very annoying. I'm just going to put it blatantly. The blue slurpfish can be caught anywhere. So this guy is very easy. He is your staple slurpfish, and the 9th fish is very easy to catch. But let's move on to our next fish, and this is where it starts getting tricky. For the 10th fish, we have the yellow slurpfish, and this guy can only be caught in desert areas. Now, thankfully, this does not require a pro fishing rod like the pink shieldfish does, but the yellow slurpfish can still be annoying. But just like I said for the other fish, come on down to this fishing hut, grab yourself some fishing rods, and then just fish along this river until you catch yourself fish number 10, the yellow slurpfish. For the 11th fish, we have the purple slurpfish, and this guy can only be caught in mountainous areas, and this is the first fish that we're using to go over to our new fishing island. Now, over here, this is a mountainous area, and this is definitely the best fishing spot in the game. So drop on down over there, grab one of the fishing rods, and fish at one of like the 85 holes that surround this island, and you will easily catch yourself the purple slurpfish. Now, our 12th fish starts to get very difficult, and this is the black slurpfish. He can only be caught at coastal areas, but specifically at nighttime. Now, nighttime is an annoying requirement because it's complete luck when you load into a game or not, whether it will be day or night. Now, one recommendation I do have for this is when you load into a game, if it's not already nighttime, look up at the sky and see where the sun is. Now, the sun rises in the east, so if you see it on the west side, that means that it's setting currently. So you are good to stay in that game, and you can just wait it out until it turns nighttime. But if it's in like the middle of the sky, or if it's closer to the east, it's not going to be worth the time. Leave that game and go back into a new one because it's going to take way too long to turn into the night cycle from the daytime. Now, specifically, you're going to need to go to the coastal area to catch this guy. Just like I said for the other ones, come on down here. This is the best coastal spot and just fish around here. But do what I said for the nighttime thing. Make sure to look at the sun. If it's in the west, then you're good to go ahead and stay in that game and try and wait it out until the nighttime. And then you'll actually be able to catch fish number 12, the Black Slurpfish. For our 13th fish, this is the hardest one in the entire fishing decks, so I don't blame you if you're having a difficult time with this. This is the White Slurpfish. Now, they have actually changed it up this season, and they did technically make it easier for us, which I am very thankful for. Now, this Slurpfish can only be caught in mountainous areas at nighttime with a pro fishing rod. But what's really nice about this is that this season, we got our fishing island. As I've said like 8 times now, if you're watching through the entire video, I'm sorry about that. But basically, this island has so many fishing spots, and it's considered a mountainous area. So what you're going to want to do is drop on down to this island, get yourself a pro fishing rod, either by doing the strategy of going to Sleepy Sound, buying one off Fish Stick, and then driving over, or just by getting lucky and finding a tent, and then using the pro fishing rod you have in your tent. And then once you get that, make sure that it's nighttime. Again, use the sun trick. If it's in the west, then you're good to stay in that game and wait until it turns nighttime. But if it's rising from the east, then you're just going to want to back out and go into another game. So that will fulfill all 3 of your requirements. You'll be in a mountain zone, you'll have a pro fishing rod, and it will be nighttime as long as you follow all of those directions. You'll eventually catch yourself fish number 13, the White Slurpfish. Now, for fish number 14, we have a new category of fish, and this is the small fries. Now, for all of the small fries, you are going to need to catch these outside of a fishing hole. Now, what that means is that you literally cannot catch these fish in a fishing hole. Rather, you just need to fish in open water. So if you see a fishing hole, I know your instinct is to go to it. Don't fish in it. Just fish outside of it. Now, for the first 3 fish, we have 14, 15, and 16. These guys can be caught anywhere, so literally any open water. Go ahead and throw a standard rod in. This will not work with a harpoon gun, by the way. And then just keep on fishing until you catch yourself the light blue small fry, the tan small fry, and the purple top small fry. Now, for our 17th fish, yet again, we have another one of these small fries, but this one can only be caught at night. If you weren't watching through the entire video, that's totally fine, but make sure you use the nighttime and daytime trick that I taught you. If it's currently daytime, check and see where the sun is. If it's in the west, then you're good to stay in that game. If it's in the east, then just back out. And then once you go ahead and get in game, as long as it's nighttime, fish in any open water that is not a fishing hole, and you'll eventually catch yourself fish number 17, the black small fry. For fish number 18, we have the blue small fry, and this guy can only be caught in coastal areas. Thankfully, it's a bit easier to catch than its predecessor since it does not have a daytime-nighttime requirement. All you need to do is drop on down right over here to this area, grab yourself a fishing rod, and then just fish in this giant open area in all of the open water. Again, don't fish in any of the fishing holes, rather just do it in the open water, and you'll eventually catch yourself the blue small fry. For our 19th fish, we have the Slurp Jellyfish, and this guy can be caught literally anywhere. So just go to any fishing hole with a fishing rod, a harpoon gun, or a pro fishing rod, and you'll eventually catch yourself fish number 19, the Slurp Jellyfish. For our 20th fish, we have the Peely Jellyfish, and this guy is mislabeled in the fishing decks. So do not try and catch him in a desert area. He cannot be caught in a desert area. They did this last season as well, and I think I'm going to go and try and tell Epic about this because it is a little bit annoying that they have this messed up in the fishing decks. The Peely Jellyfish, for literally all the time that has been in the game, has only been able to be caught in the mountain areas. And last season, for some reason, they just messed it up and they accidentally put desert areas, and they did the same thing this season. So don't be fooled by that. Go over here to this mountain area, grab yourself a pro fishing rod, again through the fish stick strategy or through the tent strategy, and go ahead and start fishing in all of these fishing holes with that pro fishing rod, and you'll eventually catch yourself the Peely Jellyfish. For the 21st fish, we have the Purple Jellyfish, and this guy can only be caught in coastal areas, but you can use any type of fishing rod, whether it's a fishing rod, harpoon gun, or pro fishing rod. So again, like always, come on down to this little area, grab a fishing rod out of this spot, and then start fishing out in the water, go to all your fishing holes, and eventually you'll catch yourself fish number 21, the Purple Jellyfish. For our penultimate fish in the fishing decks, our 22nd fish, this guy is really annoying, and I still think it's mislabeled. I still do. ever since it's been introduced all the way back in Chapter 2, Season 4, I think this thing has been labeled wrong. It says that you can only catch it at night, but I am still under the heavy assumption that it can only be caught at night and in the swamp biomes. Now, for those who don't know, the swamp biome is literally only this center of the map. So you're just going to need to come on down here, grab yourself a fishing rod from along here, and then just go ham on the fishing. Start fishing away until you catch yourself the Dark Vanguard Jellyfish. Again, if you need to use the nighttime trick, check and see if the sun is in the west or if it's in the east. If it's in the west, stay in the game. If it's in the east, back out, and then you'll eventually catch yourself fish number 22, the Dark Vanguard Jellyfish. For fish number 23, we have the Cuddle Jellyfish, and this guy can only be caught in swamp areas. Now, just like its predecessor, you are going to need to go to the center of the map, grab yourself a fishing rod out of this area here. There are plenty, let me tell you, and then just start fishing around in the fishing holes in this entire lake. It is all a swamp area, and it is very easy to catch once you actually get going. But that is how to catch all 23 fish in Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 3. If you guys did enjoy this video or find it helpful, then please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel, as that would help me out a ton. I have a full guide on where to find all of the characters if you want to watch that as well, in case you want to complete your entire collection book like I have over here and unlock all of those achievements for you to forever have on your career legacy tab. But that is all up to you. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.